Hey everyone, my name's Nicole, and today I wanted to give you a somatic experiencing tool to help you be with and move through relational triggers. So, that tool is called Pendulation. And so, let's talk about a little bit about triggers or activations. So, I actually recently had a, a moment where I was triggered in one of my relationships, and it was really overwhelming. It took me back into like old patterns that I hadn't experienced in a long time, and it was just overall an uncomfortable situation. But what I was able to do is use the tool of pendulation. And honestly, it saved me. It made everything more manageable. And it shifted some things in my nervous system so that I believe the next time this happens, it just isn't going to overwhelm me. And I won't have to do things to deal with the discomfort. I can go into the discomfort and let it metabolize, spread out, and change and transform. So, this is about building capacity to actually be with our activation or our triggers so we can move through it. And over time, this will help you build a relationship with your body instead of like suppressing it and just letting those old patterns run the show. So, with pendulation, we're moving gently between activation and resourcing or support. And if you keep practicing this, your body's going to learn how to do it on its own. We're going to do it consciously, but then your body can start to just learn it as a new pattern, which is really cool. So when something activating comes up, you can just move through it much more easily. And it gives your body a way to move through things instead of getting stuck. When when we get triggered, we tend to like focus on what is uncomfortable, especially in relationships. Like, how can I fix this? How can I get this other person to meet my needs? Um, and sometimes things do need to be fixed. You do need to talk to another person, but if we can do it from a place of resource and sovereignty and a regulated nervous system, it can make things a lot easier. So we're going to go through this practice. Um, so the first thing I want you to do is just get settled. So if you are sitting down or lying down, that's great. And I really want you to let yourself be supported. So if you're in a chair, like settle into the seat, settle into the back support. If you have head support, just let that head fall back and notice how you're supported. Maybe that chair is supporting you. Maybe it was built well, it was built for you to be supported. So just taking that in. And then let's take a breath in and slowly let it out. And just feel that breath come out and feel how the body might settle a little bit, even if it's just for a second. And then feel the feet on the ground and maybe even rock your feet just back and forth, almost like you're massaging the ground with your feet. And you can spread out your toes a little bit. And just notice maybe if a breath comes in, that's a nice way of noticing some settling. And then eyes open or closed. I want you to notice a place in your body that feels relaxed, neutral, loose. So often, this can be places like the hands. It could even just be like a finger. I often use my thumbs or my pinkies. Maybe it's the feet, maybe the earlobes, maybe the forearm. So just notice, it could be anywhere. I'm just giving you a couple places that are common. And just notice the experience of being relaxed just in that area. So notice the qualities of that sensation, of that looseness. Maybe there's some openness. Is there a texture? And just notice the experience of relaxation and hang out with that for a moment. And now let's bring to mind a situation that's like a 3 out of 10 in a relationship, nothing that's too overwhelming, maybe a 4 out of 10. So just bring that to mind, just a headline, and then notice where that shows up in the body. Is there like a tension or a buzzing? Maybe the shoulders tighten up, or you feel something in the chest or the back. Just notice that tension. And you can just come to the side of it. Notice if you want to be to the side of the activation, notice it from the side, the middle, and just notice maybe where that sensation comes from. Notice the edges of it, and maybe even notice, how do I live from that sensation? So notice that as well. And then let's go back to the place of openness or support, or the place of looseness. And if you want, you can even take a hand and just place it over that area just to help deepen it. Notice the looseness. Notice the qualities of the looseness or the openness. And then gently shift your attention back to that place in the body where that tension was before. And just noticing that, noticing the qualities. We're not trying to fix anything, we're just trying to observe it. And notice if anything maybe is a little bit different from the last time, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And now let's go back to the place of openness, a place of safety in the body. And as you're there, I want you to you can either open your eyes and find something pleasant in the room, or you can bring to mind a place that's pleasant. Maybe it's a place in nature or like a friend or an animal, and bring that to mind and see if you can deepen that place of relaxation in your body. So just noticing that. And then now we're going to see if you can zoom out and notice the place of tension and the place of relaxation at the same time. And if this is too difficult, it can be challenging. Just stay with the place of looseness or relaxation. Notice what it's like to have both in the body, experience of both. And then just take a breath, and you can open your eyes if they're not already open, and notice the room that you're in. Notice what it feels like to be in the room. And notice if there's something pleasant. And you could think, okay, that's pleasant to look at, but also notice like how your body reacts to something in the room. So does your body react pleasantly to something in the room? So notice that. Okay. So this practice is really important, and you can do this. Like, we did a longer practice, but you can do a minute of this when you're feeling activation and really start to deepen that place of relaxation in the body, and know that when there is activation or overwhelm, or a trigger, you can always go to it and have, it's almost like swimming underwater, and you come up and you take a breath of air, and you have a little more resourcing to be with the activation. So as you build capacity, these sensations will soften, they can shift, they can transform into something new. Um, and then, when you're going through something hard, you don't have to stay in the activation. And this can be a really powerful place to live from, because we don't have to fear situations. We don't have to um, overwork to protect ourselves all the time. And this can be really life changing if you continue to practice it over and over again. And remember, even if you're noticing a little shift, these shifts are going to like stack up and create real lasting change in the body. But it does take repetition, and intention, and some focus. And even if you're starting out, it's really hard. Just know that you are making a powerful little shift in the brain and the body. And those shifts, those new neural pathways, are going to continue to build into a new pathway, a new way of dealing with triggers, a new way of living. So I hope this was helpful. And if you want more support, you can always book a one-on-one with me, send me an email, and I'll have links in the notes that you can contact me through. So like and subscribe if this was helpful for you, and I will see you next time. Bye.